Off the start line, the first start here, and it was Jordan Weaving who got a scalding getaway at the front on bike number 34, led it initially and looked strong. Luke Hedger, number 22, instantly started to mix it with him. So too did number 28, Bradley Ray. At the front though, Kyle Ryde had made a break. The reigning champion on his Aprilia was leading handsomely from the front. But then he got into a major dust-up with Bradley Ray. Bradley Ray burst through to join him on the Fab Racing SP125 Honda. And the two of them were going at it hammer and tongs. This was a complete replay of what had happened yesterday. And then the red flag went out after Elliot Lodge fell at the club chicane. And tragically, they couldn't restart Kyle Ryde's Aprilia. A tearful Kyle first sat it out in pit lane and then came and sat it out here with us in the commentary booth to enjoy watching the 5-lap sprint that came off again with a swift start from Jordan Weaving. Bradley Ray, however, attacked early on, squeezed his way through to the front, and from that point on was taking virtually a second a lap or more out of the opposition. A huge fight ensued behind them. Number 4, Philip Wakefield, clipped a curb and low-sided through the chicane. But for Bradley Ray, it was, as before, 25 points for a race win here at Thruxton. He is now the clear championship leader.
Now this is the last lap of the race. Brogan in the lead, Farmer right behind him, Mainwaring's still there as well. This is the move round the outside. I thought he might go a little bit wide, but he held it on line and kept the run.
And look at this, Brogan in the lead on the final lap. Keith Farmer, though, looking for those alternative lines on the Rapid Solicitors Kawasaki as they head out into the country once again.
See, it was a big gamble for Brogan to do that in the last lap. Some people say you don't want to lead out Church on the last lap because it allows other people to cover. But the one advantage he has got is if he thinks he can get out of Church well and hold that inside line, forcing Farmer to the outside. But it's going to come down to that last corner, Jack.
And Howie Mainwaring still in there as well as he bucks and weaves his way round Church. Now Farmer, can he line something up? He's got to be pretty close to Brogan, and Howie Mainwaring was trying to cut to the inside this time as Keith Farmer takes it tight. Oh, a huge moment for Howie, and Farmer's tight line did work. Now he's got the advantage again. This time, can Brogan get close enough to go searing round the outside again? Farmer has the line covered on the inside. Farmer's looking good. He backs the ball in, and Brogy's touched his back wheel. Bogey just bumps the back wheel of Keith Farmer as they drop into the final chicane, and the Liverpudlian gets dropped off, and it's Farmer who takes the lead. Mainwaring takes second place, O'Halloran third ahead of Cox, Jonathan Railton, David Johnson sixth. What drama. Keith Farmer looks round wondering where Brogy's gone, but Brogy, well, they're just all shuffled up. I hope Brogy's unhurt. He's certainly been as fit and well as he's ever been after his winter of training. And the father-to-be just gets it wrong on the entrance to the chicane.
Just a bit too tight. He expects Farmer to touch the throttle. He doesn't.
Ooh, that was a heavy fall.
It was indeed. What a shame. What a shame, because it's been such a good race. Brogy didn't deserve that, but it was just a racing incident. Obviously, in the past, maybe he'd have picked that up, got it going, but he can't now with the new rules. And that's that. But what a race, and well done, Keith Farmer. 2 in a row.
Off the start, Tim Hastings didn't get the best of getaways and in fact got outgunned through Allard's impressive starts, particularly for one of the Moto Breakers bikes from the second row of the grid. But it was Josh Wainwright who grabbed the advantage on the AP Kawasaki as they went through into the complex for the first time. And then it was like this. There's number 28, Jimmy Rose, forcing his way through to second place ahead of the bright green Kawasaki of Twister Hastings. And then he takes the lead. Josh Wainwright squeezed back to second place on bike number 5. Ben Burke hanging in there in 4th place, the Australian, riding bike number 60 for the Seaton Tuning squad. And then Twister Hastings grabs 2 places at once, outbreaks everybody into the club chicane, and gets himself back to the front. And after that, it becomes another breaking battle. This time, James Rose, in an eventful race, can't quite hang on to it. He just backs off, takes the shortcut, and sits back in behind Hastings, and then has a massive 5th gear moment across the grass on the inside of Village. Wow. And then, right at the end, he gets the 2 of them stamp on Johnny Blackshaw, grabs 2nd and 3rd places behind Tim Hastings, who finally, in his 3rd season of 600 Superstock racing, takes his first victory with the 2 Motor Breakers Yamahas, second and third. Well done, Twister. Rob Guyver started from pole position for the second Triumph Triple Challenge race of the weekend, and he made the perfect start, swept round the outside imperiously and off up towards that first corner at Campbell's. But he then found himself with a handful of South Africans, because both number 5 Philip Atkinson and number 81 James Egan were storming round in company with the former 125 GP National Championship runner-up and giving him a fairly rough time of things. Philip Atkinson grabbed the advantage with that distinctive South African helmet, and the 28-year-old Londoner, well, London-based, kept on hanging in there and leading until James Egan finally took over under the brakes. Philip Atkinson's strong point down the back straight there. And all the time, Guyver, number 30, just hanging in behind the three of them and trying these wide swoops around the outside, getting the double bubble slipstream effect, and then braking hard into the club chicane. Nicks the advantage there from Philip Atkinson and James Egan, and then extends his advantage with a blistering final lap, 1:20.706 seconds. Fastest lap of the weekend, ensures victory for a second time for Rob Guyver. James Egan in second place, Philip Atkinson third. So 50 points then in the bag for the championship leader. Rob Guyver wins again. Off the start, number 49, Roger Lovelock, looking to make the start. He wanted off pole position. He swept round the outside into Allard's, cleanly ahead of Ben Holland, and that gave him the advantage as they went down towards the first turn. Very quickly, we had one or two problems, although not for Scott Lorry initially, because with some violent out-braking manoeuvres, he cut his way through the pack and ended up close to the front. Meanwhile, people started shedding passengers, frustrated passengers. Steve Kershaw lost his, and they were running well at the time. And then another passenger went missing, bounced out as they went across the curb with minimal suspension on these bikes. Very, very hard to hold on. And for a while, Scott Lorry and James Neve and number 72 really were able to bring the fight to Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence. But finally, he's number 72, Scott Lorry just seemed to run out of steam, or certainly the outfit did. Ben Holland took advantage. He and Lee Watson side through into second place, but he still had John Reuterholt to deal with, and in the orange and silver outfit, number 27. The Swede broke through, and he almost colliding with Ben Holland, put everything into that pursuit, but it wasn't enough. And in the end, number 49, Roger Lovelock, Rick Lawrence, they took victory on their LCR Suzuki ahead of Ben Holland and Lee Watson, and then Reuterholt and Alto, and celebrated in style.